Okay, our project is the PBL project by Caitlyn Davis, Caleb Phillips, Dakota Hollan, and then Hollan, which is me. Go next.
Alright, housing units. So in our group today, we are going to talk about 4 houses we have worked on. Each person is going to show you an example of their work and outcome of the project. Each house is wired different and has different equations and solutions. Each house was built the same but used very different.
And we're here to show you a graph comparing the monthly electrical costs of multiple housing units for each one. Also, for a quick fact, there are 730 hours in a month. By the information in your adapter C to learn the consumed energy that will be placed in each housing unit. Next.
Understanding of each symbol. Resistor. A device having a designed resistance to the passage of an electric current. Inductor. A component in an electric current that possesses inductance. Capacitor. A device that used to store electric charge, consisting of one or more pairs of conductors separated by an insulator.
AC voltage, also known as alerting current, is an electric current which periodically reverses directions in contrast to direct current which flows only in one direction. Kilowatt per hour is a unit of energy. Kilowatts multiplied by the time in hours. Voltage in electromotive force or potential difference expressed in volts.
Next.
And I have house A, and this is a step-by-step process of my work. Step 1. Combine resistor 1, which is 70, and the capacitor 25I, and then combine resistor 2 with indicator and add together. Step 2. Distribute the resistor and the capacitor to get your next answer. Continue using the same method with resistor 2, which is 40, and the inductor 60I. Step 3. After you have completed steps 1 and 2, you will multiply the bottom numbers to the top equation. Then you will add the bigger numbers to each side to get your next answer. Step 4. Once you have completed the step, you know you will divide your answer by 1,000 on the top and leave the bottom number the same. Step 5. Finally, you will use the last answer for your linear equation. And my linear equation is y equals 0.33635x plus 4.3.
Next. This is just some examples of our house. Okay, I have house B. Step 1. Combine register 170 and the capacitor. Oh crap, I'm sorry. Okay. House B, sorry. Okay, phase 1 you would use the resistor 175 and combine it with the capacitor 20I and then add this to the register 2 55 and combine that with the inductor 60I. That's step 1. Next you would be distributing the register 1 and capacitor and then the resistor 2 and the inductor. You're probably thinking I am almost done, but you're wrong. Once you get your answer from both of those, you times the bottom number to the top equation and then add the big numbers once you get them and do that to each other's side. Now I know the big number is scary, but it's okay to look at. Once you do that, you divide by 1,000 on the top, leave the number on the bottom, and then the first number divide on the bottom, and then you get your answer. But then you see the final answer from your linear equation. For the linear equation, you use the power divided by the hours of 730. That's my graph right there. And next slide, this is my work. And I got for the linear equation y equals 0.0032x. Next.
Alright, I have house C. For phase 1, for R1 you would use resistor 1 and capacitor, which is 65 minus 30I. Then for R2 you would use resistor 2 and the inductor 50 plus 40I. Next you distribute resistor 1 and the capacitor and the same with resistor 2 and the inductor. The next step you multiply the bottom numbers to the top in the equation, and after that you add the numbers and do that to each side. Now you would divide by 1,000 on top and leave the final number for the linear equation. The linear equation you use the same power, then divide by hours, which is an average of 730. And here's my work, and for my limit equation, I ended up with y equals 0.0740.
Next slide.
This is housing D, and step 1 is combine resistor 1 with the capacitor, and then combine resistor 2 with the inductor, and then add the two together. Step 2 is to distribute 1 with the capacitor and distribute resistor 2 with the inductor. Step 3, multiply the bottom numbers to the top equation, then you will add the bigger numbers to each side to get your answer. And I wrote the wrong equation on there by accident, but the actual linear equation would be y equals 18.027.
And that's his work. And so we found out that house B was the best and house D was the worst. So that's our project.